Hey guys and welcome back to a new What If here. Today we're doing the What If Naruto was Transgender part 1. I think I've tried doing this 8-9 times now. Let's hope I can actually do this. Yay. Anyway, for those who haven't checked out, well, those who don't bother checking out my community tab or that, or just are new, don't worry. What you need to know is that I'll be doing a double upload today, meaning that this one, as you're watching it, is would be uploaded at 12 PM UK time. You're watching it, and there should be another one at around it should be uploaded at 5 PM UK time, but there's a chance that it may slip a little bit and will be possibly up at 9 PM UK time, but more than likely it'll be 5 PM. So yes, anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into this wife. So Naruto would be in his apartment, laying on his bed. Why, you may ask? Well, he just gotten back from the Land Waves mission. They just completed it, and Naruto felt even more confused than ever before on just about himself. And yeah, Kakashi had seen like Naruto's kind of confusion, but also just like sadness and just a ton of confusion and sadness and that, and Kakashi had thought that once they get back to the Leaf Village and he has debrief tears and on what happened in the mission, you then go to Naruto and see if he can do anything to help him. And Naruto, an hour would go by as then Naruto would hear a knock on his door as he'd let out a sigh and would get up and would walk over to his door and unlock it and go, hey Sensei, what are you doing here? Hey there Naruto, on the way back, you okay? On the way back you seemed a bit confused and either lost or sad or just something. Is there anything I can help you with? Naruto would think for a couple seconds as he'd go, yeah, but can you come in first? I should go, sure, I've got nowhere else to be right now. So I should come in and sit in the living room on the sofa or couch, whatever you like to call it. Naruto would shut and lock his door and enter into the living room, front room as well. And you just sit down and Kakashi goes, so what's up? What is bothering you? Naruto go, I don't exactly know how to word it, Sensei. It's like anytime I look at myself, I feel sad, I feel depressed, I feel like just something isn't right, and I don't know what's wrong. I've felt this feeling for a long time now. Then, if you felt like that for a long time, why didn't you go to the hospital, tell Hokage-sama? Well, I was a bit scared. I just don't know, what is this feeling? I don't know. And well, I'd somewhat thought when I'd say made when I came up with my sexy jutsu, that that maybe if I made a lesser perverted form, that maybe it would make the sensation I feel lesser, but instead it made it 1,000 times worse. I think the feeling got a lot stronger, and yeah, and then Haku, right, the girl that jumped in to save Zabuza, yeah, that's the one. I didn't know, but yeah. I somewhat spoke to her, on the, I spoke to him, though he was dressed up like, as a beautiful girl, and somewhat talked back and forward a bit, and I somewhat felt even more confused than ever. Okay, where are you going with this? Don't know, just felt like you should know that I'd met her, I don't know, beforehand, sensei. Okay, thanks for telling me. That's a bit late now, you do know, I know, sensei. But yeah, it's like when talking to Haku, the feeling somewhat, just kind of grew, and yeah, I don't know why. Even when I look at myself naked, the feeling gets stronger. It's just like I just want to die sometimes. Guess you'd somewhat be right at that. And, okay. Well, I'd say right now, Naruto, if you're a bit, say, scared about going to prison, though Houston will probably just send you to the hospital, so how about I come with you to the hospital, and you tell this to one of the nurses and Dr. Stan, they will surely know what's causing this feeling, this problem that's troubling you so much. Okay, Naruto, okay, sensei, but you do know that I hate hospitals. Yeah, Kage-sama has informed me that you very much hate hospitals, I do know. Okay then, so they would then, after talking a bit longer about Kakashi, thought maybe getting his mind off of whatever was troubling would make the feeling lesser, but no, it didn't. It didn't lessen it at all. And so Kakashi and Naruto would head to the hospital. And yeah. And after, they would then go, after talking to the front desk that Naruto's gotten, he's feeling odd about himself, and that the feeling is somewhat to the point where he's, possibly thinking about suicide. The nurse at the front desk would pretty much try and think what it could possibly be that would cause something like that, but would somewhat shrug and wouldn't know, so would look up and then go sit down and wait for a couple of minutes. I'll go and tell and see if this doctor is is available. Cass would somewhat just nod, and they would sit down, wait, and a couple minutes later, the doctor would come down, and they would then follow said doctor into into her office, and Cass would sit down opposite, not opposite, Naruto would say opposite the doctor. She'd go, so, I've heard from the front desk that you have that you feel odd about yourself, that it's strong enough for you to think along the lines of ending your life, is that right? Hi. So then, how long have you been feeling like this, Naruto? Since I was around 4-5 years old, I think. It was only like an odd feeling occasionally, but over time it got slowly, over time it just grew and grew until, I blast mission, which, it just got a lot worse then, and, does this, feeling get any, say if you look at yourself naked, does it, does it decrease or increase? It gets stronger. Okay. And as you are a ninja, I presume you know the transformation, right? Hi. And have you, tried transforming into a gown before? Hi, I have. And how did the feeling, did it decrease or increase? It increased quite a lot, even more so than looking at my own naked body. The doctor goes, well, okay then, there's one thing I can try, and that's a medical ninjutsu that Tsunade Sama had come up with a long while ago, which allows us, to scan, scan your brain in a way that will tell us, your mental gender. My what? Well, how you're a boy and that your gender is obviously somewhat determined on what's in between your legs, right? Yeah. Well, in reality, everyone's got, two genders. They have a physical, which is what sits in between your legs, and then there's the mental, what, you personally feel that you are. Like, if you if you're a boy, you'd more than likely feel like a boy, and if you're a girl, you'd feel, of course, and if you're born a girl, you'd more than likely, feel like a girl. But as I said, more than likely, there are people who we kind of call, or at least there's people that we would say called transgender people or trans people. There are people that their physical gender, a person that is born male, they have a dick, but they don't they don't feel like a male. They look at themselves and a feeling will come in them that they are missing something. Something is wrong with their body, that they are missing something. They don't know what, but they could look at girls and get jealous for some unknown reason, and yet they could look at their self and feel hatred towards themselves or confusion because they look at themselves and they feel like something's missing, something isn't right, they're uncomfortable in their own body. And yeah, it's because the boy's mind, the mind, that inner gender, how they really feel like, well, they really feel like a girl, but they won't really know that they feel like a girl because their body and their brain, well, you'll always be able to obviously tell that you're a boy, but you can't say mentally think that you're, a girl or something like that. You can't. You have to rely on, say, like an outside person to tell you, I guess. In a way. Anyway, pretty much what obviously this jutsu will pretty much scan obviously your brain and will tell me what your brain's actual gender is, and what will happen then. Well, then we'll somewhat know what the feeling could be caused, because if you're not transcended, then we'll probably have to look into like calling either Dryer Sama here to look at the seal on your stomach, or something else. And I told somewhat just nod, and the person would then, the doctor should then run through the hand signs and would put her hand on Naruto's head, and now his entire head would be kind of covered in a somewhat greenish glow. And a couple of seconds later, and she'd sit back down and go, well, I know now what the problem is. What is it? Well, it was like I was explaining before, you are transgender. I should go, why you're not joking, are you? No, of course, why would I joke about something like that? Right. And that would somewhat crack his head. What do you mean? To somewhat say. And the person would go, wasn't you listening? That my mind's a gal? Why? If that should go well. What do you feel when you look at a girl now, though? What do you feel when you look at the nurse, the doctor, right in front of you? How do you feel? I don't focus on that feeling. Focus on something else, another feeling within you, not that current feeling. Jealous? You then say, and I should say, and why do you feel jealous? I don't know, I just do. And should go, exactly why? Because you're not a gal, you don't have what your mind believes it should have. So then, how comes the transformation didn't work? Well, because it's a transformation, it is fake, it is temporarily, it won't last. Meaning exactly that. It's just, fake. It's a mask. You're pretty much putting on a mask to hide something that, say, you may actually be, but it's only temporarily, and, it just will make it even worse. I see. So, is there anything you can do to get me to stop feeling this way? To my knowledge, I don't think that is, but I'll have a look. Stay in contact, and well, yeah, as your ninja, you may want to tell Hokage-sama, as this can really heavily affect your ability to do missions. Don't worry, I'll tell him. The doctor just nice and go, well, once you're here, just anything else? No, don't shake his head, and so Kakashi. She just nod and go, well, okay then. Yeah, they would leave, and well, they'd somewhat walk alongside. Well, Kakashi would walk alongside Naruto for a while, as Naruto would just be thinking as go. So, Sensei, yeah, Naruto, what is it? So, what did she mean exactly by transgender? He'd just sigh and go, well, what's the best way to explain it? Well, think of it this way. Think about, say, if you was, well, say say right now I feel, say, comfortable in my own body, right? Okay. And if I were to then all of a sudden, say, be thrown into a girl's body, I'd be uncomfortable because I am a boy. I was born a boy. Okay, my mind, myself would be a boy, but the body I would now be in would be a girl, and I would say, in a way, would never be able to change that. I could use a jutsu to let my old health, but it may not help. Are you following? Hi, Sensei. So, in other words, it's pretty much like the other way around. Yeah, though you was obviously, well, yeah, I guess so. If you understand it that way, then yeah. I would somewhat just nod and would somewhat feel slightly better about himself. Not a lot, but at least better that there are other people out there that have a somewhat same feeling as he does. And I should then ask, well, how do you feel now knowing that you're transgender? Naruto, oddly enough, a bit better, I guess, knowing that that there are other people that somewhat feel the same way. It's still there, it's still very much strong, but it's at least, I guess, comforting to know that I'm just not I'm just not weird. Like you, I should somewhat just nod and understand what Naruto is trying to say, and go, well then, well, as it's somewhat now starting to get late, why don't you head back to your apartment, and I'll go and tell Hokage-sama he may know someone who may be able to possibly do something to relieve the discomfort that you are feeling. Okay, Naruto. Okay, Sensei. They'd then part ways, and Naruto would do it exactly like Kakashi said. He'd go home and, well, he'd have a bath, and after having that, he'd then crawl into bed and fall asleep. And, well, for possibly the first time in his entire life, he'd have a, well, he's had many dreams before, but mainly about ramen, but this one would be the first time he's had a dream about himself. And the dream was when he'd somewhat wake up and would kind of some roll over, and then somewhat eventually sigh and would get up and would somewhat walk over to, well, his mirror, and, well, who's looking back at him was himself, but, well, with breasts and a vagina, and yeah, and the feeling, at least when he was somewhat in bed, he felt that kind of feeling. He thought, it's morning already, and when he got up and he went to the mirror, that feeling had vanished completely, like it never existed, and he would poke them, he'd somewhat squeeze them, as when he'd first transformed into a girl, he'd somewhat squeeze their hand, whilst he could feel, obviously, the breasts being squeezed. It felt more like air or something else, like it was empty, like they were fake. Though this time it wouldn't. And Naruto just have a dream about being a girl, and Kakashi, though, currently with Kakashi'd make his way to the, he'd be at the Hokage store, as he'd knock, and Hiruzen would say, come in. Kakashi would walk in, and Hiruzen would go, Kakashi, what can I help you with at this hour? Well, it's not exactly me who needs help in Hokage-sama. Then who? Well, it's Naruto, you see. On the way back from the Land Wraiths mission earlier today, I somewhat saw him. I looked at him, and he somewhat seemed conflicted, confused, lost, sad. And after I'd finished telling you all that happened, and when I left, I went straight to Naruto to see what was up with him, to see if I could provide any help. And I had ended up taking him to the doctors, and the hospital, and I ended up finding out that Naruto is transgender. Hiruzen would look up from his paperwork. You're joking, right? Naruto is... I'm not joking, Hokage-sama. I was stunned myself, and apparently he is, because here's just go, just somewhat go and just, I don't even know what to do. What can I do? Well, they don't exactly know if there's a cure or say a way to decrease it, but I thought maybe you knew someone who might. Hiroshima would just look at him like, why would I know someone like that? Yeah, and Kakashi would go, what a, don't you know any great medic names? Kakashi would have someone in mind, that being Tsunade. And Hiroshima would still somewhat stout at him, like, no, I don't. As it's quite late, so he's tired. And Kakashi would somewhat silent and go, can't you ask Tsunade, Sama? Would she possibly know something? Hiroshima would somewhat just blink at him and go, there's a chance he may know about, I guess, something to decrease the discomfort or the dysphoria. The gender dysphoria, or the dysphoria Naruto's feeling right now. But I don't think she'll come back to Leaf. So I can give it my best shot. Well, okay, before you do that, why don't you go to Naruto yourself? Because, well, I guess you may know, obviously, what, say, some people, you know how some people but you may be able to obviously tell if Naruto is transgenders, and double checking is always better than just assuming he is and then finding out by, say, Tsunade that, say, he isn't, and it's something possibly even worse or something else, and could storm out, and here's would just nod and would go, well, I guess I won't do it right now, Hokai-sama. After all, it is getting late, and I believe Naruto is probably in bed at the moment, or at the very least in a bath, having a bath. But yeah, here's me somewhat just silent and go, well, guess I'll see him in the morning then. Kashi somewhat just nod and go, well, okay then, Hokai-sama. Is there anything else I can help you with in the meantime, Kakashi? No, not at the moment, Hokai-sama. Well then, you may leave. Hi. And Kakashi would leave. And the next day, Naruto would somewhat wake up from, well, feeling, just feeling so good about himself, and he'd somewhat wake up and would somewhat yawn and stretch and would go over to the mirror, and he'd, like, the feeling which disappeared during his dream had pretty much just came straight back, and Naruto just somewhat sigh. So it was just a dream. I really felt happy. Well, and then he'd knock at his door as he'd wonder who'd come and visit me, as he'd then hear a voice, it's me, Naruto. Naruto would go, Gigi, as he'd look at itself, 1 minute, and Naruto would quickly get changed into his orange jumpsuit and would run over to the door and would open it and go, hey Gigi, and whilst Naruto would sound just as upbeat and that as before. He's going to very easily and obviously tell in Naruto's eyes that Naruto's eyes, his eyes didn't look like the same blue that they normally were. They seemed somewhat dead inside, like someone had just crushed all the life out of him, or sucked all the life, or the hope, or and here's mid would go, well, come in, and I can go, I'm sure GG. Here's mid walk in, Naruto would shut his door and lock it. He'd then enter the living room and sit down and go, so what are you doing here, GG? Well, I'm assuming you remember what happened last night, right? Yeah, I found out that I was transgender. Yes, and well, I do know Kakashi, after he'd told you to have a bath and go to bed, he came to me and told me about it. And there's possibly a person that I know, possibly, that may know a way, make the uncomfortable feeling you're feeling, the odd feelings you're currently feeling right now, just disappear. You mean make me turn into a girl? In a way, yes. Though you wouldn't be able, I think, possibly. Well, I'm not 100% sure on that. As the person may know a way, and I, don't get your hopes up, as this person hasn't had the greatest, kind of hasn't been the greatest with that person. So there's a chance the person does know and may come back to her to specifically do this, and then there is not. So yeah. Okay, GG, who is this person? Well, I don't exactly want to tell you right now, as again, it would get your hopes up, and possibly knowing who this person is may more than likely get your hopes up. Okay, Naruto. Yeah. Okay. GG. Well, I'll be going now, but I'll pretty much write a message to this person, just stating that there's a person precious to me that that needs an operation, that this person may be the only one that can do. I'm precious to you? Well, of course, Naruto, of course you're precious to me. Well, say all of Konoha, I may see all of Konoha as my family, Naruto, but yes, you are a very precious person to me, of course. Of course you are. Yeah, Naruto, really? And go, yeah, of course, I wouldn't lie about something like that, Naruto. I've definitely made a lot of mistakes in my lifetime, but yes. And I'm trying to somewhat rewrite the wrongs I've done. But yeah, you are a very precious person to me, Naruto, and Naruto would somewhat just run and cuddle him and just say, thank you, Gigi. and Houston would somewhat just, cuddle him back and would stroke his, just head a bit and would go, "It's alright, Naruto. It's alright, you'll always be a precious person to me, no matter what." Okay, hi, Gigi. And Naruto would somewhat pull back, and the light that was once gone almost seemed to come back. Hizen would then leave, and he would then go to his office and would write a letter. Would write a letter for Tsunade, and the letter would read, to Tsunade. There's a to Tsunade. Hey there, Tsunade. Long time. And I know I haven't really wrote much to you or really to anyone, but there's a precious person to me, and somewhat, I guess I could also say to you, as this person is very precious for me, and there's an operation that only you can do, so could you really please come back to Konoha? I'm not forcing you. I am asking you, are you willing to come back to do this operation? And heck, once this operation is done, you can leave straight after, but please, can you come and do this operation for me, for this precious person of mine? And why I say this person could also be precious to you is because, as you are a 1/3 Uzumaki, it would mean this person is, your cousin. This person is a half Uzumaki, and as such, I would believe, and I would happily say, this person is probably to my knowledge, the last Uzumaki alive, and as such, the last family member you have, Tsunade. So please, just come back, do this operation, and once this operation is done, if you don't want to stay, fine, I will pay you for the operation. If that's what it takes for you to come back, I will pay you whatever you want. I will pay you. So just please do this for me. That would be the end of the letter. Hizen would then put the Hokage stamp on it, and would also then put another kind of stamp on it. This stamp somewhat kind of saying that it's safe from a friend. And he would then tie it to a bird, and this specific bird knows where, can follow, will be able to track and find Tsunade. And a day later, the next day, Tsunade would be getting up and would yawn, and she would then hear a packing at the hotel window that she's currently staying at with her apprentice, Shizune. Tsunade would look over at the door and would see it's a bird, and would somewhat sigh, as you'd think, is his sensei demanding me to come back? As she would open the window and would undo it, the bird would somewhat sit there waiting, and she would see, well, it had 2 stamps, and she would see, well, the first one was the mark of the Hokage, and then obviously we'd see the second one, which meant a friend, and we'd know that Hizen only did this if he wasn't, say, demanding something of her, and which meant she could straight up just throw the thing away and say no and not read it, but she'd be interested, she'd be curious. Her Uzumaki genes kicking in there for the curiosity, as Hizen is never exactly really sure. He's done this maybe 1 or twice in the past, but yeah, this is the first time she's had a letter from him in so long, so it had to be personal to him, which meant he was probably willing to pay anything. And so she'd open it and would read the message, and she'd somewhat, just after reading it, she'd just think, obviously she'd remember she's a 1/3 Uzumaki, mother was father was a half Uzumaki, and her grandmother, that being Mito Uzumaki, the first Jinchuriki of the Night-Haired Fox, was a obviously full Uzumaki, and she'd remember that obviously she's, that if obviously Hizen is right, then yeah, she personally thought she didn't really get to know Kushina all that well, but the last thing she remember her hearing, besides from Kushina's death, was that Kushina was possibly pregnant. And well, yeah, so if Kushina died and was pregnant, then this would be her child, and would also be obviously one of, well, her probably last cousin in existence. Tsunade would mull it over her head, should she go back and do, obviously Hizen was willing to pay her any amount. He literally said any amount, however much it may be, he would pay it in one way or another. And which had meant this possibly Uzumaki, meant a heck of a lot to him. She would let out a sigh and would go over and would wake up Shizune and go, what? Lady, Lady Tsunade, what is it? Are we under attack? As Konoha labelled us missing in, is a war going on? What is it? Calm down, Shizune, and you've got a pretty dark mind head, don't you? Sorry. What is it? What do you request, Lady Tsunade? I really hate to say this, but we're going back to Konoha. Why are we going back? Well, my old sensei, which I would believe to be the current Hokage of Konoha, well, he's asking for me to return to perform an operation on someone incredibly special to him, incredibly, like his son or that. No, I don't think it's his son or anything like that, because it's not just important to him, but apparently also to me. Well, just come on, get back to it. Going off. You can read the letter on the way. Got it. Hi. So after packing up, they would leave to Konoha, and Tsunade would read the letter and would be surprised and would look over to Tsunade. She'd forgotten that Tsunade was related to the Uzumaki clan. And yeah. And so another day would go past as well. For Huzen it'd be 2 days since he'd sent the letter, and he'd somewhat sigh as he was wondering how Naruto was coping. Has Naruto even tried taking his own life yet? He'd seen the brightness of Naruto's eyes come back, but that could have also just been a lie. That could have been his own imagination. And plus, his mind could have been also torturing him. He could be having dreams of being a girl and would wake up to reality crushing him, and him waking up as a boy instead. And of course having the Nine-Tails Fox, whereas that does somewhat prevent him from, in a way, suiciding and from dying by stabbing or not, unless he somehow slices his head clean off or throws a load of explosion tags on him and on himself and triggers them all. And then he'd hear him knocking at his door. He'd look up and go, you'd think, why isn't Naruto come in, as the door would open, as he'd then hear a voice as it'd go, long time no see, old man, as he'd go wide-eyed, as he'd go, Tsunade? Hi, Sensei. It's me. I'm back. I'm here to do this operation on this precious person. Whatever the operation is now. Where's this person? What is the operation? Hi, long time no see. How are you? Just somewhat look at him as he would somewhat just sign. I'm gonna go, cat. Do you mind fetching Uzumaki and Naruto for me? Hi, right away. Kage-sama. So leaving Tsunade crack an eyebrow. So what is this thing? What is this operation I'm doing? Then, I don't exactly know. What do you mean you don't know? You called me back here for something you didn't know? Well, yeah, because I thought you may know, as, you see, Naruto is, Naruto's transgender. So now I would go, I see, and as Uzumaki is also your cousin, and and go, so how long has he felt? I guess. How long has he been transgender for? I only found out 2 days ago. His sensei had found out somewhat, say 3 days ago, and Naruto's been feeling like this apparently since he was 4 or 5 years old. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is quite bad. So not Cassie, here's a mid-ask, hopefully. So is there something you can do to reduce it? Yeah, there, should think for a second, go, yeah, there is, and I'm the only one that can do it. And what this operation is they'd hear a knock at the door and should somewhat just glower at the door. Who's'em would just say come in, and the door would open wide, and his heart would just shatter and would just sink. Tsunade would somewhat turn around at seeing like her sensei's face go from slightly hopeful to straight up just like you just killed his favourite person in the entire world or something like that. She just turned around, and even though she may not know Naruto, her own heart would shatter at the look in Naruto's eyes, as his eyes would be dull, like someone who just wants to die, who's just who looks like he would just or ask anyone to kill him right now and get his miserable and painful life over and done with. And and go, you called GD. His voice would somewhat sound just flat, no like overact, no like it wouldn't sound Naruto wouldn't sound like himself, it'd sound dead. As well from here's him go as it's go, this person right here, Naruto, she'll be able to, she says she's got a way to say not reduce, old man, exactly it should drastically reduce to the point where you may store somewhat, may possibly feel a bit uncomfortable, possibly, but the feeling should completely go away though. And Naruto's eyes would bright up for a second and go, really? And somewhat for just a second would sound incredibly hopeful before his eyes would die almost immediately back down to just cold wanting death. And it'd shatter, it would just shatter the pieces of her heart to even more tiny pieces, and and she'd go, yes, I can. Come over here and sit down on the sofa here, and I will explain to you and the old man here what I'll be doing. And I should somewhat look at who's can do, would say you can do it as get it done as soon as possible. Should somewhat just know and go, Tsunade, go to the hospital and get a hospital room, get a surgical room ready. Hi, Lady Tsunade, how many people? Just me, just you? Well, it'd be me and you, but I'll be the one mainly doing it, but no buts. Get it ready now. Got it. Hi. And she'd run out ready. She'd never seen Tsunade just look at her like, go. I've told you what you need to go. Get your ass in gear and go over there and get that damn room ready. Because the second it's ready, I'm going over. Yeah. And well, yeah. And well, the door would then shut, and she'd go, well, the operation what I'll be doing will be in a way so you get rid of your penis and balls, and you'll end up what a girl has in between her legs. Naruto would then be covered in smoke, and once smoke would disappear, and would point at this. She'd somewhat look down, and what Naruto somewhat meant in his dull, somewhat dead, slightly hopeful voice. She'd go, yeah, somewhat like that. Yes, you'll go from having a penis and balls to having a vagina. And there'd be another part of smokers, and Naruto would now be back to his normal form. He'd release the jutsu. And look at her. Really? You can really do that? Yes, I can. And as soon as my apprentice has got in that hospital, the room ready, I'll be taking you there, and we'll be immediately doing it, okay? Hi. And just Naruto would somewhat say quietly, though be loud enough for both his and her to hear, and he would somewhat say quietly, just please don't let this be a dream, please let this be real, as she'd hold Naruto's hand, and Naruto would somewhat look up at her, and she'd go, don't worry, Naruto, this is very, very much real, and I promise you this, the next time you go to sleep and wake up, you'll somewhat be a girl. You'll never be able to have a child, but you will be a girl. But what about the chest? You mean breasts? You'd have to take you'd be put on a drug for life until you die, but yeah, you'll after after a year and a half, 2 years, you'll end up growing breasts. I told somewhat just nod, and should, though not be able to take somewhat Naruto's just dead and hopeful look, given that would somewhat go, would somewhat behind somewhat Naruto's back would do one-handed hand signs, as it'd be a genjutsu, a small genjutsu that would just put the user's target to sleep, and Naruto would go, would you want to go higher? I am all of a sudden tired. And not Kakashi, who's somewhat look alarmed, and she'd go, don't worry, old man, I've just put him asleep. I couldn't continue to look into those dead, slightly hopeful eyes. So I somewhat put him asleep, but by the time he wakes up, he will no longer be he, but a she. I will promise you that. Okay. Husen is somewhat known. Go. Thank you. How much do you want? How much do I owe you? Should look at Husen and would say, for once, nothing. Nothing. Just for her to be happy, I guess. It's the only thing I would want, for just her to be happy. His image somewhat doesn't would nod, and a couple minutes later, and an Arbu would come and go. Lady Tsunade-sama, Shizune-san has told me that has told me to tell you that the room is ready. The operation room is ready. Tsunade would somewhat just nod and would go, well, guess I'll see you in a couple of hours. His would somewhat just nod and should then disappear in a puff of smoke with Naruto in her hands, as she'd be carrying Naruto, and she'd, well, obviously got up, then did the sensing. She'd then reappear in the operation room, and she's gonna go, Tsunade-sama, and Tsunade would just go, well, seems like you've got everything ready. And, well, Tsunade would then somewhat undress Naruto, and she's gonna go, I don't mean to put these, get rid of them. I'll go through and make sure there's nothing in there, nothing in there, and if there is anything, then pull it out and just, well, obviously, put in Naruto's room that Naruto would be staying in the hospital. She's, somewhat just nod and could, well, to me to, yes, do that. Now I can do this by myself, but I can do this by myself. She's, I may have a fear of blood, but that won't stop me from. I will push past that. If anything, just to see the light in this one's eyes come back, so that this one doesn't look dead no more. She's, would somewhat just nod and would head off to Naruto's room. The Armbu bits was somewhat with Shizune. When Shizune asked, does Naruto have like a private room or that? The Armbu had said yes, and had told her the exact room that it wasn't. Yeah, and to her surprise, well, it was pretty much Husen's own kind of hospital room. Husen doesn't really use it, and Naruto, when he was younger, seemed to be in the hospital more times than not, so he decided to, put Naruto in it, considering, obviously, if anyway. Yeah. And 5 hours would go by as Tsunade would be would have just finished it, and was just about to start channeling medical chakra to speed up, heal it faster. And then she, obviously, as I just said, was about to, as she'd then somewhat see red chakra. She'd be somewhat puzzled, because she'd already guessed and had, by obviously undressing Naruto, she'd seen, the seal had somewhat been, it'd been oddly, just that, to her knowledge, it should be invisible, and it generally is, unless Naruto channels chakra specifically to the seal, it should be invisible. And why was it visible? Well, because the fox itself had poured somewhat as much chakra as it could out of Naruto, and only leaving enough to keep from Naruto's life force, I guess. That's what I think they call it. Life pretty much just imbalanced, so Naruto didn't die. Because, and reason why, and if you think, the fox wouldn't do something like that, why would the fox do something like that? Why would the fox even care? Well, fox would care because if he doesn't do this, then there's a chance the operation could go completely sideways and that could end up dying. Or, some other stuff could happen. Or if this operation doesn't, or if the operation doesn't go, through, then that could also end up literally vaporizing himself with explosive tags. So he doesn't want to meet the Shinigami. He doesn't want to be in the pure world, as his soul is tied to Naruto's, thanks to the Shinigami's, thanks to the Reaper Death Seal. So, yes. Anyway. And so, so the fox poured as much chakra as it could out of Naruto to prevent any of the chakra that would just circulate through Naruto from healing any of the precise cuts, and that would be required to change said penis into a vagina. And it taken 5-6 hours to do, and once the fox had sensed that it was all done, and had sensed that the person doing the operation was about to use healing chakra, it then somewhat let his own chakra, the seal pull his chakra, and the seal, she'd look at the seal as it had been that all the time, and it would then somewhat glow slightly blue, then disappear. Should be confused, what was going on. And that's when she'd then seen the seams, obviously the seams of the vagina, where she'd put stitches obviously in there to pretty much support the skin now, and she's gonna heal them. So instead of taking possibly a month or so to be in the hospital, she was somewhat thinking that Naruto would be maybe in there for probably a minimum of 2 weeks, so 2 to 3 weeks. So be a week lasses. Anyway. And the current issue is just typing, "Don't you damn fox, don't you dare transform that damn vagina just made into a penis. If you dare do that." I don't really want to redo my work, but I will I will happily redo my work to see this kid's eyes, Nata's eyes, just be alive for the first time. And though all that the commissioners, well, the 9,000 chakra did was heal it, and should somewhat be surprised as well, there was no stitches, it was just there was no scar marks, no nothing. Yeah, though, yes, those who, and, well, yeah, should then somewhat check, well, should then would run somewhat a medical ninjutsu scan, and then go, the fox is sealed pretty much everything. Well then, well, plus still gonna be in the hospital for 2 weeks. Yeah, should somewhat finish up that what the fox somewhat couldn't do, and yeah, and so yeah, Naruto, well, should then push she then somewhat put Naruto on from the operating table onto a bed, and we then pushed the bed to Shizune. Shizune was, as Shizune told Tsunade, the hospital room. Yeah. Well, she'd come back to tell Tsunade, and Tsunade just told her to go and wait there, or I don't know, do something else. Yeah. And, well, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, and so once she's in there, obviously she'd somewhat sit down beside, well, the bed, besides Naruto's bed, and we'd I wonder how long it takes you to wake up, and, well, she'd somewhat lose herself in her thoughts, as 10 minutes later she'd feel a squeeze on her hand, and she'd somewhat she'd blink her eyes a bit to somewhat refocus them from her daydreams, and would go, Naruto, you're awake? Hi, I am. And she could see Naruto's eyes. They weren't the same just kill me that she saw 5-6 hours ago. They were, well, yeah, they were somewhat, she could see that, well, that she could see just thankfulness in them, and I told someone would just say thank you, and she'd go, there's no need to thank me, after all, I'm just still thank you for doing this for me. I never really thought this feeling would ever go away, so thank you so much, Tsunade. Yeah, really, thank you so much for doing this for someone like me. Tsunade would go, no need to, but after all, you're my cousin. You're my cousin. You're a half Uzumaki, and I'm 1/3 Uzumaki. Uzumaki, what's that? I just told me that was and I'd go, well, yes, the Uzumaki was a clan, but to my knowledge, you are the last person alive. Not to go. I see. Well then, just thanks for doing it. No need to. And yeah, guys, this is where I'm going to end it. So if you want this to replace what if female Naruto was an Uchiha, tell me in the comments down below, and there should possibly be a link in the description to a poll, and that poll will have two options, either this one or the one that will be airing at 5 PM. So yes. Anyway, guys, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this part. Hopefully I haven't disappointed anyone with this part, and yeah, I hope you guys like this, and yeah, anyway guys, stay safe, have a good day or night depending on where you are and whatever the time is for you, and well, good. Bye.